It's funny. Have you ever really stopped to think about the words we use all the time without even thinking? Some of them are just absolute powerhouses hiding right there in plain sight. Today, we're going to pull one of those words apart and see what makes it tick. And that word is second.
So, let me ask you, how many different jobs can this one little word actually do? I bet it's more than you think. It's kind of the quiet superstar of our language, and we're about to see just how much heavy lifting it really does.
You see, this word wears a lot of different hats. Seriously, it can pop up as different parts of speech, and each time it has a totally distinct job to do. So let's break down its three main identities.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to look at second when it's an adjective, then when it's a noun, and then, even when it's a verb.
All right, let's start with the one we all know, probably its most familiar role, as a number. Not just any number, but an ordinal number, one that tells us about order and position. Like in a race or a list or anything like that. So when it's being an adjective, its whole purpose is to tell you the position of something in a line. It's not about the quantity of two, but about being the one that comes right after number one. This sentence is the perfect example, right? The person isn't saying there are two kids. They're telling you their specific spot in the family lineup. It's all about order. But okay, watch this. The word's job completely changes here. We go from talking about ordering things in a line to measuring the actual flow of time itself. In this role, second becomes a noun, a thing you can actually count. It's that basic little unit we use to chop up a minute. It's not about position anymore. Now, it's all about duration. And this example just makes that distinction crystal clear. The winner didn't finish in the second place, they won by a specific amount, 5 units of time. It's a completely different idea, but it's coming from the exact same word. Pretty cool. Okay, so we've had order, we've had time. But believe it or not, this little word has one more trick up its sleeve. Let's look at second as a verb, as something you can actually do. The whole idea here is support. When you second something, like a motion in a meeting, you're formally agreeing with it. You're giving it the backup it needs so everyone can vote on it. It's an act of endorsement. You've definitely heard this before, right? In a movie or some formal meeting, the person isn't asking for a moment of time and they're not asking for the number 2. They're asking for someone to actually perform the action of supporting their idea.
So let's just run that back real quick. Second can be a number telling us about order.
It can be a unit of time, something we can literally measure. And it can be an action, a formal way to show you agree. So, 3 totally different meanings from just one word. But why? Why this word? What makes it so special?
Well, the answer actually lies in this really fascinating project that was all about making communication simpler. Turns out, the versatility of second isn't some random accident. It's exactly what makes it so important.
And here's the big reveal. The word second is an official member of something called the Basic English 850 list. So what on earth is that?
This number right here is the key. The whole basic English system is built on a core vocabulary of just 850 words. The idea was to create a version of English that anyone in the world could learn and use easily. Yeah, basic English is all about being efficient. It was designed for clear international communication. And think about it. With only 850 words to work with, every single one had to be a multi-tool. They were specifically chosen because they were versatile, because they could do lots of jobs, just like our word second.
And really, that's the big takeaway here. The humble, everyday word second proves that sometimes the most powerful tools we have for communicating are actually the simplest ones.
So, that makes you wonder, right? What other simple, everyday words are out there hiding this kind of superpower? Once you start looking for them, I have a feeling you're going to see them everywhere.